Who is the Phoenix Suns MVP? Chris Paul, the 36-year-old point guard who has led the Phoenix Suns to their first NBA Finals appearance in 28 years, or Devin Booker, the 24-year-old scoring assassin who is putting up historical numbers in his first playoff run ever? As for Suns fans, this is a good problem to have, but objectively speaking, who is the most valuable player to your team? In this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into the Phoenix Suns' 2020-21 success in an attempt to crown the true MVP of the Valley Boys. Make sure you guys drop a like and comment and subscribe. It truly means a lot, and we want to continue making dope content. So let's get right into the video. Chris Paul was traded to the Phoenix Suns in November of 2020. After reviving his career in OKC, Phoenix decided to take a chance on the veteran point guard. While many people across the league felt like it was a good move by the Suns to find Devin Booker a second star, not a lot of people had the Suns as real title contenders. After an impressive outing during the 2020-21 season, the Phoenix Suns finished as the second seed with a 51-21 record. Their crazy run to the NBA Finals has taken the league by storm. Some may attribute that to CP3, while some may attribute that to D-Book. But which is it? I'm going to be making an argument for both players and then saying my final take. But let's start with CP3. This season, Chris Paul averaged 16.4 points, 4.5 rebounds, 8.9 assists on 50% shooting. My oh my, I did not think Chris Paul still had this much left in the tank during his 16th NBA season. CP3 has historically been known to elevate the games of players around him, but particularly his big men. Players like David West, DeAndre Jordan, and now DeAndre Ayton are all direct beneficiaries of Chris Paul's style of play. But what makes Chris Paul such a winner? How is he able to go from franchise to franchise and continue winning so much? What it really comes down to is Chris Paul being an extremely high basketball IQ floor general. CP3 is a coach on the floor, and his experience and tenacity keep the defense guessing. Similarly to Rondo, Paul puts his teammates in the right place and executes the right plays at the right time. Having someone on your team that can see the game so keenly is a huge asset. It also doesn't hurt that Paul is so versatile. Even at the tender age of 36, he's able to use his body and angles in order to get around defenders and create opportunities for himself and his teammates. CP3's spectacular shooting has been on full display during this year's NBA playoffs, and his notorious mid-range jumper continues to torch teams despite the analytics saying otherwise. I earlier labeled Chris Paul as a point guard, and that is not just some term to be thrown around with. Chris Paul is a master of his craft, and even when the modern day game changed, he adapted to it, drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. CP3 is one of those players you love to have on your team but hate to play against because he knows every trick in the book and will take advantage of it. He's able to draw frustration fouls like nobody else in the league and is able to get under his opponent's skin. I haven't even touched on the impact he's had on the Suns team as a leader. Having such a seasoned vet on this young Suns team is improving their game to an immeasurable degree. The early morning workouts, the gritty practices, the advice and habits of routine, all these things are contagious in the locker room, especially coming from a guy like Chris Paul. Chris Paul set that high standard for his Phoenix Suns teammates, and it has only elevated their games as we've seen this season. The type of presence that Paul carries, his other teammates feed off of. They've never experienced and don't know what it took to be an NBA Finals caliber team, and CP3 paved the way for them. Several of the Suns players have publicly come out and spoke on the impact Chris has had on their game, and they have all given him high praise. Chris Paul has done a lot for this team, both on and off the court. Next, let's talk about Devin Booker, the young killer. Stephen A. Smith has already crowned D-Book as the second coming of Kobe Bryant, averaging 25.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 4.3 assists this season. While many people may feel like this is a huge statement too early in his career, we have to go back to when Book first entered the league. Book was drafted 13 overall to the Phoenix Suns in 2015 at only 18 years old. Labeled as just a 3-and-D guy, many people across the league had Book at a very low ceiling. D-Book is one of the few guys who have organically paved their way in this league, and it took time. Suns fans know that Book's rise to stardom wasn't easy. In his rookie season, Book saw limited playing time behind a crowded backcourt and was viewed as just a kid at such a young age. After finally cracking the starting rotation, Book improved year in and year out, finally being recognized by other players around the league for his scoring talent. However, there was only one issue. Despite Book's 70-point game and proving he's a bona fide scorer night in and night out, These spectacular scoring performances did not translate to wins. Book was beginning to be labeled as an empty stats type of guy. Surrounded by a subpar supporting cast, it was looking like Book may need to take his career elsewhere in order to ever win anything meaningful. Rumors swirled of a potential reunion with his best friends D-Lo and Kat in Minnesota after a slam cover magazine was released featuring all three stars. Then came the franchise's 360 turnaround that gave Book the help he needed. After several losing seasons, the Suns obtained the #1 pick, drafting big man DeAndre Ayton in 2018. The following season, the Suns made a great hire, acquiring highly coveted head coach Monty Williams. Also, with a true point guard in Ricky Rubio and allowing Book to play more off the ball, the team was poised to make another run for the playoffs. Despite another disappointing season, the Suns went undefeated in the bubble, and Book once again was being recognized as one of the league's top young stars. This outing put the Suns on the map, and in the words of DeAndre Ayton, "We'll see y'all next year," became very true. Insert Chris Paul, and now the Suns are in the finals and only a few wins from the first NBA championship. Bottom line, neither Chris Paul nor Devin Booker make it to the NBA Finals without each other. CP3 needs a dominant scorer that he can give the ball to down the stretch and get a bucket. And D-Book needs a playmaker to take the defense's eyes off him, allowing him to work. They play well off each other. Devin Booker is able to pick and choose his spots, and his insane scoring ability is even more enhanced playing alongside a floor general like CP3. At this stage in Chris Paul's career, he may not even be the same offensive threat that we've seen in the past, but his game management skills still make him a top-tier point guard in this league, helping lead such a young core. Without Chris Paul, teams used to be able to just double Book, and he would have to try and will his team to victories. Instead, Chris Paul becomes a scoring threat while also putting his fellow teammates in positions to score, making the Suns so deadly. While I love Devin Booker and know he will be a star in this league for years to come, CP3 is a historical winner and turned the Suns franchise around. Devin Booker needed CP3 just as much as CP3 needed him. Their games complement each other, and while we all knew Luke Skywalker was the next big thing, it wasn't without Yoda that made it possible. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. I appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end. We put a lot of work into these videos, so once again, thanks a lot. We'd appreciate a quick thumbs up and a comment. Let me know what you guys think down below, as we're always looking for new topics to make videos on. But with that being said, peace out.